Welcome. Today I'm going to bring you a nice, very low, slow self-massage sequence. So you really don't need anything for this specific sequence, and most of it will just be seated. We'll do a little teeny tiny bit of movement just to help to unwind the body. Otherwise, not much is needed. Just you and your body, your hands, and we'll be doing some self-massage, some self-touch, some self-nurturing. And hopefully it can help you to get back in your body in a new way. So let's start in a comfortable seated position, and we'll start with the left shin in front of the right shin. And this is just intention setting of perceiving before we take action, tapping into the feminine side before the masculine side on the right. So as you find your comfortable seat, you can allow the hands just kind of place on the thighs. If you'd like a little more grounding experience, the palms can turn down. Or perhaps you need a little uplifting sensation, you can turn your palms up. Or maybe today is one of those days where nothing makes sense, and maybe you want a little bit of both worlds. One palm can be up and one palm can be down. As you rest in your seat, gently close the eyes, and let's just take a moment to observe and notice the body. And as you drop into this place of loving and gentle awareness, I invite you to do so from a place that is free of judgment, that is free of expectation. And instead, just allowing yourself to bear witness to all that is here present with you in this moment. Observing the physical body and any sensations that may start to show themselves. Perhaps even dropping into the subtle bodies, the feelings, the emotions that arrive with you, knowing that they too play such a big role in this moment and what comes next. Beginning to find your breath, noticing where you're breathing and how the breath feels today. Then beginning to expand that breath. The inhale getting a little bigger, feel the belly rise with that life-giving energy. And the exhale, the contraction, the belly drawing in, pressing out the stale air to make space for that beautiful, fresh, new breath that comes next. Slowly bringing the hands to prayer, allowing the thumbs to rest on the breastbone, gently bowing chin to chest. And just taking a moment to thank yourself for taking this time to reconnect, to come back into the body, into the breath, and to just show yourself some love. Okay, so from here, we're just going to do a little bit of spinal unwinding before we find some more expansive movements. So let's plant the palms behind us. Now that we have taken a moment to perceive, we can start to take some action. Go ahead and switch the shins, right shin in front of the left. Sinking back down into your seat, sitting tall. Now the hands can be either on the thighs or they can plant down by the sides. On your inhale, press the belly forward, start to lift the chest, lift the gaze. As you exhale, round and release, tuck the chin to the chest. So just taking some cat-cows from your seat. Starting to, notice how the spine is feeling today. Knowing that the spine is the root of all. It's the first thing that's created in the womb. The nerves, the tendons, the ligaments that stem from the spine, giving life to the rest of the body. Good. This time on your inhale, come back into your cow spine, press belly forward. As you exhale, press the ribcage to the right. Exhale, round into that cat, and then press ribcage to the left, and then forward. So just finding some Sufi circles through the spine. Again, the hands can stay on the earth for a little bit of traction, or if you're finding that your range of motion is limited, bring the hands to the thighs. And then start to get a little bit more expansive into the circle, the Sufi circles. Good. And then just reverse your circle whenever you're ready. There's no rush. Take your time. Noticing the breath beginning to expand a little bit more as you create space for the diaphragm. Good. Come back into neutral spine. Reach your arms into the sky. As you exhale, plant the palms behind you firmly, and then plant the feet in front of you. So to start, they can be hip distance, or you can widen them a little bit. Take a breath, draw the heart forward, draw shoulders on the spine. As you exhale, both knees fall to the left. Inhale, knees through neutral. Exhale, take them off to the right. So just taking this little side-to-side windshield wiper movement. Starting to bring a little bit of life into the side waist, into the hips. Yeah, if you want to widen the feet a little bit more to get a little deeper into that position, go for it. And then also if you want to get a little more creative, as you inhale, knees through neutral, take them off to the left, sweep your right arm back to the back of the mat. Inhale, come through neutral, take it off to the right, sweep the left arm. And just follow your breath and just let this be a little bit of this free flowing movement. Don't worry about what it looks like, it's all about what it feels like. Close your eyes, allow yourself to surrender into the movement. Let's take one more to each side. Last one. Good. Come back to neutral for a moment. Plant the palms behind you. And then if you want just an invitation to turn the palms towards the hips, just press the chest forward. You can hold here and just lift up. If you want a little bit more, tuck the tailbone, curl up into a reverse tabletop. The chin can stay to the chest and just lengthen out the front body. Feel the glutes engage. Maybe gaze up. If the neck is ready, maybe let the head drop back. Keep pressing down to the feet, press down the hands, breathe in. Exhale, slow release down to the hips. Draw the knees into the belly, wrap the arms around the shins, sit nice and tall, inhale. Tuck the chin in and get nice and small, exhale. Good, and as you're here, start to send your breath into your low back. See if you can breathe into the side body. Breathing all the way into the mid back. Into the upper back, allowing the breath to be that way to massage from the inside out. Good, slowly lift the gaze. And then we'll open up into Uttanasana, butterfly pose. Soles of the feet meet one another, knees fall out to either sides. Now take your thumbs, bring them down to the top of the feet, right at the top of the heel. And then we're starting to create a little circular massage along the heel. So starting at the base of the heel, taking the thumbs and just creating little circles. And then slowly starting to move them up the side of the heel into the inner arch. And again, it's really about what feels good in your body. So pressure can, change depending on how you're feeling. If you're a little tender, maybe be a little more gentle. If you like deep pressure, feel free to really knead into the feet with the thumbs. Take it all the way up to your big toe mounds. And then starting to take that circle to your second toe, that nice big joint right there. And then go ahead and take it down the inner arch. You can also use your fingers on the tops of the feet just to give a little squeeze, a little compression into the tarsals. That's the foot bones. Take it all the way down to the center of the heel. And then grabbing onto the outer arch, kneading the thumbs all the way up to the pinky toes. And then you can start to take your full hand and just kind of squeeze and knead into the entire foot. You can take your toes in between your thumb and your forefinger and act like you're almost like rolling a coin and roll the toes, each one individually. Nice. Now from here, using the hands, we're gonna lengthen out to a wide straddle. And then just start to take a soft fist and start to find a nice little tapping along the shins. You can take it outer shin to inner shin. Start to take it all the way up the outer thigh. And you're gonna roll around the top of the thigh to the inside of the thigh. And this is just following the send lines. There are a lot of energy lines along the legs, interior and exterior, medial and lateral. So you're just kind of waking up into those lines, as well as they are like nerve lines. So it helps to create nice movement with your lymph and your blood and your energy. Yeah, and then just taking an open palm and just squeeze the thighs. You can take both hands to one thigh, get a little internal, external rotation. You can press down, using the heels of the hands, little butterfly palm to press down and out away from the hips. Making sure doing the same thing on both legs. Nice. Good. And then bring the legs back together. Squeeze the thighs together, take a little forward fold, pull the flesh away from the sitting bones. Inhale, reach into the sky, and then exhale, just surrender down. Start to lengthen out through the low back. Now with this, you can feel free to round if you want a little bit more of a restorative approach. Otherwise, if you want a little bit more of a stacked spine to get a little bit deeper into the low back, maybe keep the chest lifted and allow the spine to fold from that nice stacked position. So instead of rounding and releasing, just extending out and folding from there. And then I'll give you more of a hamstring release. But if you're feeling more of like a restorative fold, feel free to round, tuck the chin in, and just allow the body to pour over and hang over the legs. Good. Take a nice big breath in. And a deep breath out. On your inhale, slowly rise up, and let's just swing around for a couple quick little yoga positions just to get some full body. Tabletop, as you're ready, take a few cat-cows. Inhale, drop the belly down. Exhale, round and release, and just moving along these different poses to create more range of motion in the hips and in the spine. If you want to come back to those circles, feel free to press the ribcage off to one side, roll through your cat, take it off to the opposite, and then roll through the cow pose. And just take this nice big torso rotations. Yeah, and just make sure to switch opposite direction. Good. Neutral spine. Let's send it back for a down dog just for a few moments. Lift the hips up and back. You can pedal out the legs a little bit here. Just find a nice stretch to the backs of the thighs. Keep pressing down through all 10 fingertips. Find length through the arms. Press the belly back. Keep the neck long by letting the head hang heavy. Take a breath. Good. Let's gaze forward. Set the left foot to the top of that, drop the right knee down, and then just take a low lunge, both hands to left thigh. Back toes can stay curled for a little more support, or feel free to untuck the toes. Draw the belly in to fill into the low back, and then maybe just sink into the front thigh. Find this nice stretch front body. Yeah, and then a little half Hanuman for a moment. Sit the hips back, lengthen out the front leg, flex the left toes. Good. Inhale, come back into your lunge. Step it back, downward facing dog. And then just a gentle switch. Inhale, gaze forward. Right foot steps forward. Drop left knee down. Both hands come to right thigh and release the fingers. Back toes can stay curled or uncurled, your choice. Sink into front thigh. Breathing into front body. Have Hanuman. As you're ready, straighten the front leg, sit the hips back, flex your front foot, spread through your right toes. Good. Come back into lunge, step back, downward dog one more time. Take a breath in. Child's pose, drop the knees down, drop the hips back, relax all the way to the earth. Good. On your next breath in, inhale, roll up. And then you can either stay in your kneeling position if you want a different seat. Otherwise, we'll come back to our cross-legged position for some massage of the upper body. And then as you find your way back into your seat, so we're going to use the full hand, all 10 fingers, and we'll start at the top of the head and then work our way down. So taking your fingers to the top of the skull, start to create those circular massage rotations at the scalp. And then just starting at the top of the head, at that hairline, and then start to walk it down nice and slow. Take your time, there's no rush. And again, pressure, depends on what you're feeling today. You may find a couple tender spots, so you can always ease off a little bit if you want, or if you like that deeper pressure, feel free to explore with your hands. Make sure to get the back of the skull. Yeah. Take it around, so creating like a big circle with your fingers, take it around your ears, find those circular rotations there. If you have any kind of jaw tightness, you'll notice at the tops of the ears along the hairline, there are lots of little trigger point areas that you can get into that will help release into your jaw. You might even feel like little ropey areas, ropey meaning like tender and like tight bundles of tissue. And these are little ligaments, tendons, and muscles that assist in the jaw movement, so they may be tight, so feel free to really get in there with your fingers. Yeah, and then we'll take our thumbs, and starting at the bridge of the nose, just sweep up one thumb at a time to your third eye. Remember, just enjoy the sensation. So allow yourself to let this just be a moment to take care of the body. Now using both thumbs starting at the top tip of the nose, take it up the bridge of the nose through your third eye and up, sweep around the tops of the eyebrows. Yeah, and then keep that sweep, take it on top of the eyebrows. And then right underneath the eyebrows, tracing the edge of the eye socket. You can even squeeze your eyebrows. It's called a caterpillar squeeze. Good. Now, taking your 8 fingers, so the 4 fingers in each hand, start at the top of the jaw and sweep down towards the chin. Allow the jaw to just be soft, let the teeth separate. And you can take it all the way to the edge of the ear. There's some really good trigger points right at the edge of the ear along the jawline. If you want to take circular rotations along this line as well, you can draw it all the way down the jaw, down to the chin. You can take this movement along the cheekbone from the nose out to the ears. You can trace the bottom line of the cheekbones, the top of the cheekbones, above the cheekbones, below the eyes, and just sweeping out towards the ears. This is really good too if you have any kind of sinus issues or any kind of stuff going on with your allergies. This can help to open up into the sinuses. Maybe sweep the cheeks out towards the ears. You can take your thumbs at the base of the jaw, base of the chin, sweep underneath the jawbone towards the ears. And then taking it to the back of the skull with your 4 fingers from the middle of the base of the skull, sweep out towards the edges of the neck. So start at the base of the skull, at the occipital ridge, right in the middle of the skull, sweep out and along. You can even do little tiny circular motions along the base of the skull. Should feel really nice. All the way to the base of the ears. I'll turn around so you can see a little better. And then if you want, take it down the neck. So just sweeping out from the cervical spine, sweeping out towards the edges of the neck. And you can take that trace all the way down the tops of the shoulders, and then start to sweep from the spine over the traps, over the tops of the shoulders. You can give your traps a little squeeze at the top. Yeah, and then take it all the way out. Keep doing the squeeze and this pulling motion from the spine out. And just explore it, right? Nothing, no wrong, no right. Just exploring sensation and doing what feels good in your body. You can sweep it all the way to the shoulder tips. You can take your fingers and trace the collarbone out from the sternum away towards the tips of the shoulders. You can even take it down the chest to get a little pec massage. And then taking an opposite hand to opposite shoulder, grab the delts, give them a nice squeeze. And you can take this squeeze down to the biceps, the triceps. Take it down to the forearms, squeezing all the way down to the wrists. One hand at a time, taking the thumb, you can start to circular, find some little kneading and circular rotation along the base of the wrist, up into the fingers. You can take sweeping motions from the wrist down into the finger joints, just sweeping away from the wrist, opening into the fingers. Maybe find that coin rub along each finger individually. Making sure switching hands, finding that nice, loving touch on both sides of the body. Circular, perhaps at first, and you can take sweeping motions from the wrist down the fingers, down the carpals, the bones of the hand, into the fingers if you want a little coin rub action. Yeah, perfect. Good, and then I want to end with just a nice energetic sweep. So this is just with the intention of receiving and grabbing some energy around us and just washing it over the body. So as we do this, I invite you to imagine gathering some light, gathering some energy from around you. It can be whatever color resonates with you. Maybe it's a yellow, maybe it's a blue or a purple. And we're just going to grab the energy and wash it over the body with our own hands. So allow the hands to be this way to receive that light and that energy, and then to transmit it into the body. So we'll do it together, and we'll do it nice and slow. On your inhale, reach into the sky. Just intentionally gather whatever you need. And as you exhale, first let it pour over the crown of the head. Let it drip down the face. Take it to the back of the skull, sweep around the back of the neck. Tops of the shoulders. Bring it to the front of the heart. Allow the backs of the hands to touch. Take it down your sternum. Bring it to the belly. Take a little circle around the belly. And then wash it down the legs and out the feet. Reach up. Gather what you need. Let it wash over the crown. Down the face. Take it to the back of the neck. Over the shoulders, down the heart. Backs of the hands touch. Wash it down the sternum. Take a little circle in the belly and then wash it down the legs. So take a few of those like that at your own pace. Reaching up. Let it pour over the crown, down the face. Sweep it to the back of the skull, back of the neck. Over tops of the shoulders, through the heart. Backs the hands touch as you take it down the sternum. Wash in the belly for a moment. Take it down the legs. Allow your hands to make contact with the body the entire time. Feel the warmth of your palms. Allow yourself to just rest in this nice nurturing touch. Feeling the power of your own hands on your own body. Okay, let's take one more. Good. Slowly rest. Bring your hands back into your heart. Allow the chin to drop to the chest. Allow yourself to rest in this vibration you've created. Honoring this moment and honoring every single part, every single crevice, every single cell of this body. Thanking yourself for arriving and taking this time. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed and hope you have a beautiful rest of your day or evening. I'll see you soon. Namaste.